Two sets of parents have been fined £100 for their children's persistent bad behaviour. Now, they'd failed to act on an acceptable behaviour contract that they and their children had signed after the children were identified by the police as part of a group who'd been causing antisocial behaviour. What do you think of that, Jane?
I think it's a really good idea, and I think the key word in that is persistent. So this isn't just, parents who've kids have gone off the rails a bit and they didn't realise. So this is North East Lincolnshire Council. First of all, they issued acceptable behaviour contracts to the family as a whole. So the parents had a duty to take responsibility for their children, blah, blah, blah. Two of the parents in the set ignored it, didn't take the contract seriously. So they were then issued with a community protection warning, so another layer of bureaucracy. Didn't take any notice of that. Then they got fined. The other parents took it seriously and it worked. And by the way, in North East Lincolnshire, this sort of incidence of juvenile misbehaviour has gone down significantly. So hit them where it hurts, in the wallet.
Yeah, I totally agree. But it works when the children and the parents both get on board, but what do you do when they don't care?
Well, that's when you find them, because then they care.
Just refuse to pay?
That 100 quid has gone out of their... Well, they can't. They'll be taken to court. It'll be taken. They've got authority to take it out of their account, or if they're earning money, or... But it, hit them where it hurts, because that's the only thing that obviously is going to get through with certain people.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like at the weekend. And it was about 7 o'clock at night at the weekend, and I went to the local supermarket just to get a few bits, And as I drove up, there was like 5 or 6 boys from about probably 13 to 17 standing outside the shop.
Well, like the corner shop type
The corner shop. And as I drove up, I thought, I don't know whether to go in, because I instantly felt intimidated. Then I felt guilty, because I thought, oh, bless them, they're just a group of mates, probably just have, nothing else to do, having a laugh. But they had their hoodies zipped up to here and their hands in their pockets, so they looked a bit... Anyway, I thought, just, don't be ridiculous. And I went in the shop and I was saying to the woman at the till about, God, I felt really intimidated out there. And she said, why? And I said, those boys. And she called her manager over, and they're back. And I went, what do you mean? And she said, they keep running in the shop, nicking all the booze, throwing things around the shop and running out. And she said, they wait till I'm here on my own. She said, I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh, God.
And she said, and they give her the V sign and they're laughing at her or whoever's in the shop. And I said, well, why haven't you got the police? And she said, because the police said it's not really worth the paperwork.
And this is it. So this is a shop. There are complete no-go areas in this country that the police have just abandoned. And these poor, the people are living in daily fear of these youths. And, as we've heard this week, a lot of them are carrying knives.
Yeah. And their parents probably aren't even aware of what's going on.
Probably not, but you've got to just put a line in the sand. But it has to be a pincer movement, and you can't put all of the emphasis onto parents as well. You've got to say the police have to act more, the local authorities have to act more.
But to be fair to the police, though, because everything's paperwork now, isn't it? We've heard this all the time. Everything now's paperwork. And they're probably thinking, for the amount of slap on the wrist these boys will get, which it will be that, they'll have spent maybe 2 or 3 days doing paperwork when they could be out, because then they get in trouble for not being there for...
But then you toughen up the whole system. You make the whole system tougher. You get in early, stop them becoming career criminals.
Yeah, but also I think as well, you've got to... A lot of people wait until their kids are in their teenage years, when they're at that rebellious stage. But long before that, you notice your kids having these tantrums or getting a bit out, 7 or 8 or whatever.
Well, and I think quite tough with Betsy now. She's coming up to 8, and she kicks off, and I have to punish her by, if there's something we were going to go to, I said, well, we're not going now, because I know she needs to learn at this age, because if I don't, by the time she gets to sort of 13, 14, 15, I'll have lost control.
Yeah, well, we did it with Jake, because Jake used to have terrible... He just couldn't control his anger when he was younger. And I remember Ray saying to me, listen, if we don't nip this in the bud now at 8 and 9, by the time he's 15, he'll be hurting us in a... be 6 foot and hurting one of us. And we did. We took control of it. We got professional help with it, to find out, if he had a problem, how we should do it as a family.
I was scared
and he was the loveliest boy then,
Weren't you?
But there has to be consequences.
Yeah, my parents were never like, we were never punished badly, but even just the thought of them being angry used to put
disappointed,
fear in me.
actually.
Do you know, my kids hate that the most. They hate it if they come home and they've done something wrong when they were younger. they said it was fine if you were angry and shouting, but
Yeah.
it was when I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, there was a case recently of a guy in his 60s who lived in one of these no-go areas, and he confronted an 11-year-old boy who was part of this sort of gang that was just constantly terrorising the neighbourhood. And the 11-year-old boy's father hit him over the head with a plant pot.
Oh.
So in my day, my mum would have, if I'd have, you know, I was such a goody two-shoes for exactly what you've just said, but if I'd said to my mum, oh, so-and-so, you know, the teacher told me off, she'd go, well, what did you do wrong?
No, mine too.
She wouldn't go to the school and go, don't you tell my child
I was
off.
always scared of authority.
Yeah.
Still am. You scare the hell out of me.
To be fair. But also as well, disappointment's actually more powerful because with anger you can push back against anger and it gives you something to get riled about. Where do you go with disappointment other than feeling really bad about yourself? Very disappointed with you. See?
Okay, just quite sexy.
I didn't mean it that way.